Good evening, folks. This is going to be the last video I make tonight. Just like I said, just piddling around in the shop. Ain't starting no big builds right before the holidays. It's the week before the holidays right now, and just trying to get a couple saws back up and running. We will be starting some right after the holidays. Waiting on the gaskets, intake gaskets for the 266 come in so I can seal it back up. I opened up the impulse hole. It got blocked with just a little bit of sealant. It happens. I've done it before and I'll probably do it again. So, like I said, waiting on those to come in. They probably will be in, hopefully, by Monday, because we'll be leaving Tuesday. But I won't be able to work on it Monday night. Then what else we got? Still got sit down and just time this. Ooh, that's cold. It's getting real cold out. Time this and start putting it together. Got new seals to put in it. And got body parts to put on it. Got a carb, got a muffler, got handles, got everything to build another. I think in a previous video, oh sorry, y'all can't see what I'm showing. This Husqvarna, it's a 266 case. I think in a previous video I said it was a 266 top end. No, this is a Highway 268 top end. I wanted to keep it 66 cc's just to do a side-by-side comparison with that 266, the true 266. This is a Highway 268 cylinder with a pop-up. So that'll be probably the next actual build y'all see on the channel. Then followed by probably some Max and some others. But I mean, heck, you've already seen what I'll be working on tonight. This saw actually, I mean, you see it's filthy. This one rode around in the back of my truck. Probably 6-7 months. I like swapping them out every now and then. Give some breaks, and then just get some other ones out to run. I like to keep all of them, at least run them all. Try to run them all once a month, if not more. But sometimes some of them sit up a little bit longer. But last time I had this in the truck, which was probably a month or so ago, maybe a little longer. Started not wanting to idle, would only run with the choke on. So I started acting like it had possibly an air leak. Then, I'll take that back. No, it wouldn't run at idle, but it'd run with the throttle cracked. So I figured the carb was getting gummed up, fuel filter was getting gummed up, something. Well, cleaned out the fuel line, filter was clean. It's just one of those that sticks in the bottom of the fuel line. It's not a kind of cartridge style you call them. They're more of just a foam ball on these. I don't know what you would even call it. But it seemed clean. I figured the low jet on the carb was plugged up, low idle circuit. So I swapped it out. I didn't like the carb anyways. It was some Tillotson with a plastic metering block, which I ain't never seen before. I don't even think on that Zama on the 800 had a plastic. No, it doesn't. I'm actually looking at it right now. So I ended up picking up a Warborough. That's what I had on my other 610 that I sold. That saw ran something good. Sold it to a buddy. He wanted something that could possibly run a 28 inch and mainly run a 20. And it worked wonders for him. Like I said, that saw ran good. It had great compression, fairly low hours. What happened was they stripped the little black starter cover over here. This starter housing is actually two pieces. This is one piece and this is another. Oh heck, y'all really can't see that, can you? Kind of can, yeah. This black piece right here, they had one of them was broken and one was stripped. Fixed both those, and that saw started right up and worked wonders, absolute wonders. Love that saw, and I hated to get rid of it. But my buddy was looking for something, and I said, man, this is probably one of the best runners I got. I'll let you have it, and sold it to him. And honestly, I got to missing it, so I picked this one up. I don't think I paid more than $20 for this. And it ran with that Tillotson carb on it for a long time, and like I said, I think it just got plugged up. But I never ran as hard as my one with a Warbur on it, and I've read that these run better with a Warbur carb. I couldn't tell you why. I have not a single clue. But I picked a Warbur carb up, and it's still not wanting to pull fuel. So what we're going to do is pull this off, pull it apart, make sure see what's going on with it. It wasn't rebuilt when I got it. Outside looked amazing. Might have been ran through a parts washer or something, and it might have messed up one of the gaskets, or it could have a plug circuit. I'm not quite sure. We're gonna pull it off real quick and at least take a look at it. Then I'm gonna get on out of the shop tonight. It's starting to get cold. Fingers are starting to get numb. And that's when it doesn't get fun for me. That's when I quit having fun. My hands get numb. There we go. Put them off. If I remember right, I didn't tighten these too terribly hard, but I need to pull this fuel line off first. There we go. Yeah, once the line's clear. Like I said, these saws right here are pretty dirt simple as well. I mean, got great anti-vibe on them. They're heavy for a 60cc saw. They don't run like a 1010, but man, they are workhorses. These things will last and last and last, and it's hard to beat them for something maybe around a farm, or like I said, throw in the back of the truck, because they just run. Mine ran for a long time, never gave a hiccup, started a second pull. This one ran pretty darn good for months and months. Then like I said, that one day I had to cut a tree out of the road, and it started acting up. I'm not 100% sure what happened to it. There we go. Pull that guy off. I do not like how these, what's it called? Let me pull this guy back out of the way. Can I turn you? I'll have to put that back on. Don't like how these throttle linkages on these saws come off. Said this carb looks brand new, but an issue, it will not pull fuel. I don't understand why. Come on. The thing is like seized on the throttle rod. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. The only thing I don't like is the throttle rod on these guys. I need to make sure it's still getting an impulse, and the impulse didn't lock up on us. Nope, she got an impulse. She's got a heck of an impulse. So that leads me to believe that something in here ain't quite right. Let's pull it down real quick. Guess we'll pull off the pump side. Said this thing looks brand freaking new. I'll make sure I'll pull off the, make sure the switch didn't go bad. But the coil, when I thought it would have. But it might have. Come on now. I said my fingers going numb. I'm start making mistakes soon. Actually, I think I got a Phillips right here. There we go. It's that one. It's that guy. These, not like the older ones where you have just a little lip you can pry up on, so let's see if I can get down. There we go. Ooh, what's called might have been stuck. The metering lever, I mean it's clean in here. Mighty clean. It's a little tough. I figured it'd come back around. I wouldn't figure that would cause much of an issue. Hardly at all, really. She's a little stiff. No, she's a lot stiff. Soft on that one side. I don't know if I got a rubber HDB. What's it called? That'll do it though. Just that stiff. But the needle is free now, but yeah, that diaphragm's pretty darn stiff. I feel that's gonna be your issue. Go ahead and pull off the meter inside. These are funky low carbs. Not the funkiest I've seen, but they're funky low carbs. These HBDs, not a overly big fan of them. But like I said, the Tillotsons that came on these had daggum plastic metering block, which I ain't never seen. Not a day in my life. There we go. Did it crack loose? Ooh, you were crusty, or not crusty, just stiff as a board. As clean as can be in here, it's just stiff as a board. I mean, there ain't nothing plugged, not a single thing. Doesn't look like it's honestly ever had fuel in it. That side looks fine. I think it's just gonna be our pump side, just dry. Let me see what I may have to work with that. May have something. I done had another cart kit somewhere in here. I know, don't need to lose that. It's all 372 stuff, and I don't believe those have one style. I do not believe. No, they are. No, they're not, because they use an impulse. They don't have that, what's it called? It might work. I pull this. Oh, that was the better of the two. What's that other than that? pull this one apart real quick and see if it's somewhat similar. I don't know if it is. These are HB612. I think that's a 6. So I know for a fact I ain't got a kit here, but we'll see if this is something similar. Because you'd be surprised at what fits between different brand carbs. Because most of them are set up on the same principle. There's just little tweaks. Most of the gasket and stuff are pretty darn similar. Lost that guy. Oh. I don't think this is going to be right, but we will see. Mercy. That's it. Fingers going numb, starting to drop stuff. Starting to drop the fire out of stuff. That might work. It'll be close. I hope it's just a little bit smaller. That ain't gonna work. Dang. That's a pain in the butt. I have to order a kit for that. I said, diaphragm side seemed fine. This pump side, not so much. Pump's hard as a freaking rock. It just won't pump nothing. I'm pretty sure the Tilliot came off it. It's a little bit different, but typically between Walboro, they'll be similar. But this one's got a burr, that's why it doesn't want to go down in there. It don't want to go down in that spot at all. Oh. What's going on with you? Save that carb for something else. What do y'all think about a 390? Guys got one for sale here local. Granted, do I ever need a 390? No. But he's got one for sale fairly cheap. Might pick it up just for the deal. Let's see. Bet that Tilly's gonna be not the right size, especially since it's got a. Yeah, I doubt it. It's got. No, that ain't gonna work at all. That Tilly is not gonna work. That stinks. Alright. Try one more thing. Any gas down in here? Put a little gas to it. Maybe she can work her way back. Get a little bit more. Let's call it out of it. Get a little spring back to her. Not much. Sometimes you at least get on a run. Start up, hold them open for a while. It'll bring a little bit of life back into gaskets. It'll soften them back up some, not a whole lot, but some. You can get away with doing that. But we'll try this one more time. I doubt it's gonna work, but at least have it back together. Know I gotta order a kit for a HBD 6B. That's what it is. It's tight. Go here to the opposite side. Tight. Tight. Alright. Well, that stinks, but it is what it is. Ain't much we can do about it. We got that piece that popped off that arm. We'll sit it back on in a minute. Let's go ahead, stick this guy back on. Like so. Thing's really in my way. Go on like so. Go ahead, grab a gasket. Now I gotta say, pulling the intake side of this, not the intake side, just pulling the what's it called off, the carb off, and looking down on the intake side of the piston and the exhaust side of the cylinder. Looks magnificent on this side. The real telltale sign though will be the exhaust side. There you go. Trying to get these started can be a little bit of a bugger. But to recap, take these out. Gotta pull your needles and your idle screw out. Just sit it back over here on the side. You can just slide them out side. I usually just leave them right there. Take your fuel line off. Take your, oh man, of course I did that. Oh, yep, getting tired. Getting ready to call it a night. Gotta slide this piece back on. It goes like so. Oh man, now I'm gonna get myself confused. I believe it went like so. Yeah, it's gotta go like that. Set this guy back in here. This guy can actually go underneath the come on. There you go. Yeah, that's how it goes. This guy go underneath the little spit back shield on these Macs. That's what that is. That little top cover that's got the what's it called? It's got the stud for the air filter. It's an anti-spit back shield. Mcculloch figured that out after the early saws, that this design you'd have a little bit of spit back. You can see why these are kind of they can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to work on. They're not bad. They can be just a little bit of a pain. Like I said, they're not too bad. But man, when they run, they don't run hard. Like I said, they're not the greatest thing in the world as far as power. weight, anything like that. More or less the usually longevity you can get out of these guys. Pretty darn great. There we go. Now we're back in business. Because usually these things will run forever. Said I don't know what happened, if it sucked up something in the idle circuit and blocked it up. I ain't quite sure. But I'd been wanting to swap it out for a Walbro car from that Tilly, which I'll show y'all that Tilly. I said I ain't really seen a carb like it. Tighten her on down. Tighten her on down. Make sure our choke works. Yep, works like a charm. We gotta work on this fuel line real quick. It can be a little bit bud to get on, just because of the angle of these guys. There we go. There we go. All right. Now we will put our jets back in. Put her high in first. Just get her started. Be gentle starting these. You don't want to cross thread them. You'll know pretty quick if you do. That one's at least started. Get a low jet started. Said super clean. That one started to cross thread. It's not liking that. There we go. Oh man, already up at 27 minutes. Ready to call it a day. I think that one's pretty well seated. Check this top one. Right there. Call that seated. Go half, one. Half, one. Slide this guy. Idle screw back in. Make sure you ain't cross thread it. See it coming on the back side. Ain't no really good way to tell when it starts opening it. That's maxed out. It should be fully open right there. Yeah, right. Right there. So we'll go half, one. We'll go one turn open. Actually, we'll go 1.5. Just to make sure we're open on it. And whatever you do, don't matter how new these anti-vibe mounts are. These saws are notoriously spongy. But you ain't gonna have no problem running a 20, 24, 28. It's gonna be a little tough on them, but you shouldn't have much of no issue with it. Go ahead and put our top cover back on, and maybe tomorrow I'll give it a try, just see if it'll fire up, and like we'll do like I said, and give it a try. There we go. That's better. the way down, down. Good deal. Alright, that's how I pull a carb off a Mcculloch 610, 61cc, not the 70cc from the late 60s. How to kind of pull it apart, kind of what its deal is, and throwing it back together. So I'm going to call it a night from here. Hope y'all have a great evening, and I hope y'all have a great week, just depending on when this video comes out, and or a great weekend. And happy Christmas or happy holidays, whichever y'all decide to celebrate. Try to be inclusive. Don't want to offend nobody. And yeah, I will see y'all after the holidays. Thanks, y'all.